The observation deck of the Terran horizon hummed with the gentle thrum of quantum drives as Ashley stood before the reinforced viewport, her crystalline exoskeleton catching the light of distant stars. Each facet of her chitinous form reflected the cosmos like a living prism, yet she saw only inadequacy in her reflection. Alex approached quietly, his boots making soft sounds against the metallic flooring. 3 years aboard this vessel, and he still marveled at how Ashley could make silence feel comfortable. She was a Xanthari, one of the insectoid species that humanity had encountered in the Outer Rim colonies. Her people were known for their logical minds and warrior traditions, not for integrating into human crews. "Can't sleep?" Alex asked, settling beside her with 2 cups of synthetic coffee. Ashley's mandibles clicked softly, a gesture he'd learned meant contemplation. "I was reviewing the crew evaluations. The others, they are cordial but distant. They're getting used to you. First non-human on a deep space mining vessel, it's an adjustment. It is more than that." Her compound eyes, hundreds of lenses working in concert, fixed on the void beyond. "I have accessed your entertainment databases, your literature, your media. I understand now what humans find aesthetically pleasing." Alex took a sip of his coffee, sensing where this was heading. "Ashley, I am not beautiful like human women," she whispered, her translator chip struggling with the emotion in her chittering voice. "I have observed the images. The smooth skin, the symmetrical features, the soft curves. I am angles in armor. I am alien." The word hung between them like a small singularity. Alex set down his cup carefully. In the 3 years since Ashley had joined their crew as a xenobiological consultant, he'd watched her master human protocols, learn their idioms, even develop a taste for terrible Earth movies. She'd saved the ship twice, once from a reactor breach she'd detected with her enhanced sensory organs, and once from raiders by single-handedly holding the cargo bay with combat instincts her species had honed over millennia. And now she stood before him, this being who could calculate faster than their ship's computer and lift 3 times her body weight. Worried about human beauty standards? "You want to know what I see when I look at you?" Alex asked. Ashley's antennae twitched. Nervousness, he'd learned. "I am uncertain. I wish to know. Too bad. You're getting the full human honesty treatment." He stood, facing her directly. "You've got 2 big things human women don't." Ashley's exoskeleton seemed to dim slightly, her bioluminescent markings fading. She'd clearly expected a deflection, not a confirmation. "Perspective," Alex continued, "and courage." Her antennae shot upright. "When you look at humans, you don't see us as we see ourselves. You see us as we could be. Remember when Rodriguez was going to quit after that asteroid nearly killed him? You told him that humans were the only species crazy enough to chase rocks through space for metals they could synthesize. You made reckless sound heroic. You gave him perspective." Alex warmed to his theme, years of unspoken appreciation flowing out. "And courage, not the kind where you charge into battle, though you've got plenty of that. The courage to be the first. The only Xanthari to leave your hive cluster. The only one to say, 'I want to understand these bizarre mammals.' Do you know how terrifying that is to us? That you chose to be here? I do not understand," Ashley said. But her bioluminescent patterns were brightening. Shifting through colors Alex had learned meant complex emotions. Human beauty. That's just symmetry and biology. Mating instincts dressed up with poetry. But what makes someone matter? What makes them beautiful in the way that counts? That's different. It's the nurse who works double shifts. The teacher who believes in the difficult student. The scientist who asks the question no one else dares to ask. He gestured to her reflection in the viewport. "You see angles in armor. I see someone who bridges 2 species. I see the person who taught me that honor isn't a human concept, it's universal. I see my friend who laughs at my terrible jokes even though your species doesn't have humor. Because you know it makes me happy." Ashley was quiet for a long moment, her antennae performing a complex pattern he'd never seen before. "You are saying that I overthink this. I'm saying beauty is what you do with what you've got. And what you've got is the ability to make humans like me think bigger, feel braver, be better. These qualities, perspective and courage, you claim these are beautiful? To humans? The real ones, not the ones in the magazines. Yeah, they're everything." Ashley turned back to the viewport, but something had shifted in her posture. "Your species is very strange, Alex. You find beauty in the least expected places. That's kind of our whole deal. Alex said with a smile. We looked at space, cold, deadly, impossible, and thought, yeah, we'll live there. We met species that could outthink us, outfight us, outlive us, and we thought, cool, let's be friends. Humans don't do conventional. Is this why you eat cheese even though it is technically controlled bacterial decay? Alex laughed, the sound echoing off the observation deck walls. Exactly. We're weird, and we're okay with it. Ashley's mandibles moved, and what he'd learned was her version of a smile. Then perhaps I am more human than I realized. I am weird, and I am becoming okay with it. Now you're getting it. They stood together in companionable silence, human and Zenthari, watching stars streak past as the ship cut through the darkness. In the reflection, Alex could see both their forms, so different yet standing side by side. Alex, Ashley said after a while, yeah? Thank you for the perspective, he grinned. Thank you for the courage to tell you that. Somewhere in the ship's depths an alert chimed, their shift was beginning. They'd descend back into the routine of ice mining, equipment maintenance, and the 1,000 small tasks that kept humans and their allies alive in the unforgiving void. But something had changed in that observation deck. Ashley walked with her exoskeleton held a fraction higher, her bioluminescence a fraction brighter. And Alex walked knowing that the universe's greatest beauty wasn't in the stars or the worlds they'd discovered, but in the connections they forged between them, bridges built of understanding, one conversation at a time. In the end, that was the most human thing of all.